Black Clover Chapter 257. This chapter has some twists and turns that nobody really was expecting. We're going to get right into it. Before we get into the video, make sure y'all run up the likes on the video and let's get into it. So last chapter, we remember whenever Yami used his death thrust to completely obliterate Dante's body. So now pretty much all of us knew that ain't no way that was going to be the end of Dante. And Yami pretty much saying, you know, like Yami being a smart ass, he pretty much like, I can see I hit the bullseye or whatever. And I was saying the same thing because Dante have a big old target on his body. It's like a big symbol. And it's like, it just obliterated the whole symbol. That's like a super good place to aim your attack. And then like Yami like, sorry, I blew away your body. Straight up, I blew away your body. And then we see Dante looking, in his words, he looking pretty much pathetic. Cause like you're supposed to be the king of the devils and you just got obliterated. So he had this look on his face and he's like, man, this really just happened. And he basically saying like, how come that there's a human who can fight against me when I'm going full force? And then he's like contemplating with himself. There's like, there can't be. And then he's like, but there is. And he's like, that's why I have this pathetic look on my face. And it cuts to like a panel of Dante with this. Dante face in this panel. Y'all just gonna have to see this panel for yourself. But it's like, ugh, why he look like that? But he just, yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't really have, let me move on. So Yami pretty much like, dang, he sees this man regenerating. He like, oh my goodness, this man regenerating. Pretty much Dante is kind of like thankful, because like Captain Yami pushed him to his limits that other people couldn't do. A lot of people really couldn't push Dante to his limits. And we know that the devils have two magics. Dante is said to have body magic and gravity magic. So body magic was pretty much Dante's original magic before he got the devil magic. And whenever he mixed in with the devil magic kind of amplified his body magic. So now like his body magic is basically really, really broken. Basically, he says like he can't even die because his body magic is so strong that if his body gets obliterated like he did last chapter, he could just regenerate. So I want to touch on this. Whenever Zagreus, it was very hard to defeat Zagreus because like we know he had a heart and he could pretty much move that heart, and the only way to defeat Zagreus was to like pretty much destroy his heart. But like he can move the heart, so it was hard to like locate and like stuff like that, So Dante, it seems like it's hard to kill him because he has extremely powerful regenerative magic. So his body magic basically allows him to regenerate. So a lot of people were speculating there, like we know like last chapter Black Clover chapter 256, we know he's not going to be taken out in this chapter, but we weren't really sure how he was going to come back. And in this chapter it's revealed like his body magic is very strong, that it could basically regenerate his entire body back. So that's pretty cool. But the thing about his body magic is it makes him look hideous, and it really does. He looks more devilish now. He don't really look like the charming, handsome Dante. He looks like a monster. He looks hideous, like horrid. So that's why he don't really like to use his body magic, because he don't really like looking like that. And he basically looked deformed. Like my man's is deformed. He got big and like he just looked. That boy look horrible. I'm not gonna lie, but that's how demons supposed to look, bro. You want it to be a demon, not be a demon. You look horrible, just like a demon. So he go into this form. It kind of reminds me of Demon Licked. Remember whenever Lick transformed into a demon? It's kind of similar. I don't know if that's just because it's the same art style, or if that's kind of what Tabata was going for, or if it just looks like that because Tabata drew Demon Licked and this guy. I don't know if he intentionally wanted them to look similar, or if it just looks similar to me because that's his art style. You know what I mean? So basically we got this big giant form. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna just call him, I don't know, it's not 100% devil power, but he's just using his other thing. But I'm gonna just call him like, I guess I'm gonna call him demon form Dante. He in the big form, kind of looking like Demon Lick. But he basically he basically, it looked like he's more powerful now, which he definitely has to be. Obviously, he's more powerful now because he's using his different magic, his other magic. His other magic is broken. People are saying his gravity magic was broken. This body magic is broken because Yami is using his death thrust. In the last chapter, I didn't know if Yami was going to be able to use his death thrust again because, like, he just unlocked this pretty much. Like, he just learned how to use this. So I'm like, how proficient is Yami going to be at actually using his death thrust? You know what I mean? But it seems like Yami's pretty proficient at using that death thrust because he is obliterating this big form Dante. But the thing about Dante, he keeps regenerating, and it's so gross. Like, wait till this is animated. This is so gross. Like, his body magic looked like some, I don't know, man. It just looked like something out of a horror movie, honestly. And then, like, Dante pretty much saying, like, he don't die. And that even though Yami has overwhelming power, he cannot defeat Dante because of his regenerative magic. Like, this man just keeps on, his body magic is so regenerative that it keeps on, every time Yami like blows a hole in this man, it keeps on reforming and making him regenerate. So like, it's really hard to beat that, honestly. I don't know how they gonna beat that. And like, basically, even in this chapter, Dante admitted that Yami is a formidable foe, bro. Yami, this remind me, you know what this remind me of? And y'all probably gonna disagree or agree. Let me know in the comments, because I like talking to y'all in the comments. But this reminds me of Lumiere versus Demon Licht, honestly, because they're too powerful, bro. Look how strong Yami is, like the panels and the way that how big like this demon Dante is and how small Yami is, but Yami's still holding his own. It reminds me of like Lumiere, because Lumiere was small fighting against this big old demon. But basically, Dante really respects Yami to a certain extent, you know, however much you can respect your enemy. He's saying like Yami is like basically more proficient and has more skills. But he's saying like he's basically saying Yami should, for all intents and purposes, be stronger than Dante, but life is not fair, and Dante admits like he has some broken magic, so that's why it's not fair. And it cuts to a panel of Asta on the ground, and we know Asta, man, we know he hurting. He like, man, I gotta help Captain Yami. And he's respecting Captain Yami, because he's like, dang, Captain Yami's still fighting after he surpassed his limit. And I'm like, dang, that's really powerful right there. And so we see Yami, you know, he pretty much comes to the realization, he's like, I cannot defeat Dante by myself. So we see him fighting Dante, and like he like to his limits, man. Yami to his limits. And then he says, I can't win without you, Asta. And Asta, his eyes like, man, I gotta get up. And Asta starts thinking back to all the memories him and Yami has, you know, all the times Yami taught him all kind of useful skills. And then we see Asta get up and go to Captain Yami's side. Let's go. Get up, Asta. So now we got Asta and Captain Yami. They're gonna be fighting side by side. This is one of the coolest panels by far I have ever seen in my life. All right. Now I know y'all probably think I'm exaggerating. No, Asta getting up and going to Yami, that's one of my favorite scenes. A lot of people is hating on it. Don't hate on that, bro. Asta is the future Wizard King. All right. He need to be put into situations like this in order for him to grow. If Asta would have stayed on the ground, I would have looked at Asta and been like, man, you stayed on the ground and you watched your captain get destroyed. No, man, get up, Asta, straight up. Yami even said the same thing. Yami like, man, I can't win without you. You got to get up, bro. Because, all right, think of it this way. If Yami over here surpassing his limits, Asta is the disciple of Yami. So that means Asta got to surpass his limits. And I'm really proud, man. I'm proud of Asta, bro. Asta got back up and he fighting side by side with Captain Yami. And I hope they win. I hope they win straight up. I'm tired of people saying, oh, I don't want them to win because it's too early. Oh, man, I'm rooting for my boy Asta. I want my boy Asta and Yami to win. I will never root against them. I won't. I will never say, oh, I want Asta to lose. No, I'm not going to say that. Now, at least not in this scenario. Now, in the future, I know somebody gonna record this and be like, oh, you said this back then. No, I'm talking about in this scenario. For the most part, 99% of the time. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a 1% chance that, like, you know what I said, I changed my mind. But that's like a 1% chance. 99% of the time, I'm gonna be always rooting for Asta to win. Straight up. This is my favorite panel of the chapter. When Asta gets up and he goes to Captain Yami. And they both got a smile on their face. They both covered in blood. Both tattered, both been like beaten up by Dante. They're like, nah, man, we gotta destroy this man. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave the video off there. I pretty much said what I had to say about this chapter. But like Clover Chapter 257, really good chapter. Yuki Tabata, thank you for providing us with this amazing content. Very good chapter. I'm proud of my boy Asta. I'm proud of Yami. This not over. We gotta see Dante versus Yami and Asta, and this gonna remind me of Yuno and Asta versus Lick. This is on that level, bro. This is on a higher level, bro, because they're more powerful now. But man, this gonna be a good fight. I'm glad Yuki Tabata wrote this in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video up there. I want to talk more about it, honestly, but I don't want to make the video drag too long because I know y'all have stuff to do with y'all day. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. Please help me get there. Like the video, comment. I'm gonna be interacting with everybody in the comments. Other than that, I love you guys and peace out.